Harley Quinn. Such an interesting character that evolved from just being Joker's mistress to someone who cannot stand the sight of Joker and can stand up on their own. If you are familiar with my channel, you know that I spent the last few months looking at all of the Suicide Squad live action stuff. Immediately afterwards, I've binged seasons 1 and 2 of the Harley Quinn series. And since season 3 is out now, and has been out for a while, and I've had the script written for a while, but please, let me talk. I really want to discuss why I love this depiction of Harley Quinn more than what we got during the Suicide Squad movies. Before doing that though, I had to figure out what makes a Harley Quinn. What makes this Harley Quinn better? What factors am I looking for in this comparison? The three I could come up with were charisma and morality, the Joker, and the life after Joker. Let's start off with a little bit of charisma and morality, shall we? Harley Quinn is a very bubbly, violent, and rambunctious character. She could compliment the way you smile for 1 second, then say your teeth will make a good snack for her hyenas later. I wouldn't necessarily call her random, but I think that she thinks very much so outside the box, but also out loud. She thinks out loud as well. I think a lot of people just stop at she's crazy and that's her personality, but it's more than that, and that can be said for both iterations of this character. In the Suicide Squad franchise, I would consider her character similar to a Deadpool or basically any other MCU hero, to be honest. Let's see how much flack I can get for that. Because she isn't necessarily evil or ever does any evil things. She just has horrible timing and saying some stuff that she probably shouldn't say. It's like she doesn't take anything seriously. Her morals are intact. She ends up in a lot of situations where she has to face the villain. While I could say it's because of the writers, let's just say it's because this Harley actually has more up there than one person might think. Her personality would fit well in something like The Boys, where everyone gets the situation they're in, but that doesn't stop someone like a Butcher who always has something smart and witty to say to somebody. When it comes to the series, Harley is portrayed more as someone who wants to be bad. We see her do petty crimes like robbing banks, crashing weddings and birthday parties. Her character seems to have more screws loose, and we can see that's because of her upbringing. The show was at the end of season 1 that her father was very much a bad person to her, always in debt, a drunk, to the point where she was forced to blow a competition so they could make more money on a side bet against her. I think both of her parents tried to kill her because of the bounty on her head, which is just a whole bunch of fucked up, to be honest. Like Wreck-It Ralph though, she's a bad guy, but it doesn't mean she's a bad guy. The series, because of the writing, has her fight people like Joker, Queen Fable, Penguin, Two-Face, Bane, Mr. Freeze. Basically all bad guys. It's hard to explain her character within this show because it's complicated and gray, like most characters should be. Her and her crew are fine with robbing banks, but when Bane wants the crew to blow up a fast food place, they're morally against it. I think the story of the first 2 seasons were her trying to figure out who she was and what she wanted to do throughout her life, because Joker made her this way, but does that mean she always has to be the villain, or can she be something more? Like a homewrecker. When it comes to this factor, it's hard to choose. I actually really like both portrayals of Harley Quinn. The live action version is more fun and energetic, while the cartoon version is more like a modern interpretation of Harley Quinn that's inspired by everything, including the Suicide Squad films. It might have to be a draw between these two with that in mind. The Joker. We all know who he is. It would be dumb of me to sit here and try to explain who he is, but for those who don't know, he is an agent of chaos. Looks like this. Harley Quinn's character, for better or worse, is very tied to the Joker, and in both of these portrayals, we see her relationship with the Joker end. One goes on this journey and occasionally slips up and falls for him again, because that happens in real life, even with toxic people. And the other just says, they're done, and the rest of the film is her becoming her own character, but with hardly any references to the Joker. Let's start with the live action. 2 films, Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. In Suicide Squad, they seem madly in love with each other. Harley gets sent to Arkham Asylum and Joker is constantly texting her and telling her, I'm gonna break you out, I will break you out. And it kinda does feel like the whole movie is building up to the point where Joker really does come to rescue her. And it kinda does. To the point where the chopper gets shot down and we think they both die. Then he just breaks into Asylum at the end of the movie and the movie ends. That's all of their relationship in the movie, really. The movie feels all over the place to the point where I believe Joker would have had a bigger role within it with Harley, but most of it got cut for some reason. Their relationship feels superficial, which it is in all iterations, but the dynamic is different here. Harley and Joker both kind of feel like crazy chaos. Like they do stuff just because it's funny or it causes distress for a person. But there is no inner message with that, they just do it because. So it surprises me and makes me believe that it's only because of the political stuff in real life that they broke up within the movie Birds of Prey. She says he treated her bad, but we don't really see any references to that, maybe unless you count, when Joker locked Harley up, Joker just disappeared, unless you count that. In the Harley Quinn series, it's more clear cut. They had a direction. Right from the beginning, we see Joker's manipulative nature come to play when they're robbing some boat and Joker ends up leaving her behind because he doesn't want to get caught himself. Then telling her he'll rescue her from Arkham Asylum, she believes him for a whole year. Until Poison Ivy finally beats it into her head that he doesn't care for her in the fucking slightest. Like I mentioned earlier, this, like Birds of Prey, was her trying to establish herself within the world as an independent top villain, and no one is taking her seriously because she's not what the mob boss crime overlord Joker anymore. Joker still plays a major role in this story of developing her character though. Harley Quinn's character at this point in season 1 is gaining respect and she wants to join the League of Villains because of it. Her, Poison Ivy, and the rest of her crew become close and actually start making it big, and it gets to the point where Joker tries to usurp the League because they actually let Harley in, and he even shot Poison Ivy, the catalyst of her change, and she died. Temporarily anyways. Harley as an anti-hero or tragic villain should go through these trials and tribulations, and while Birds of Prey is a good movie, it just doesn't hold up to the series because of the Joker's exclusion from the movie. If it wasn't because of that, it would have been more difficult, but without Joker in it, it loses something special in her growth. Life after Joker. While I do have a lot to say, there's a lot more I can say about one than the other. What is life after Joker for both Harleys? Do they get back in the dating game? Or do they just live on doing the same stuff that they were doing with the Joker, but now by themselves? The Suicide Squad gives us that depiction, and she's more or less the same person as she was before. You can tell she has had growth though because of one scene within the film which has her kill the prince or whatever because Harley sensed that they were getting in a toxic relationship and she caught the red flags this time, showing signs of true growth. Other than that though, she's basically the same character. Same jokes, doesn't take anything seriously, still seems pretty badass, of course. Nothing's really changed for this Harley. In the series, she seems more like a developing character. She's over Joker now, but there's still aspects of her life that he has ruined for her, like the way she views relationships. When she went to take on Mr. Freeze in season 2, he was telling her the story of why he does what he does, because his spouse is terminally ill and he's looking for a cure. Harley doesn't believe that because she assumes he would be as toxic and crazy as the Joker, and unfreezes the wife just to find out that she is actually terminally ill. They're going through basic I'm recovering from a toxic relationship journey, but it works because Joker and Harley Quinn is one of the first things that comes to mind for anybody when they think of a fictional toxic relationship. But with how the ending for season 2 was, it has me wondering if they are doing the basic journey or doing the once you're with a toxic person, you yourself become a toxic person. Because she literally became a homewrecker and destroyed Poison Ivy's and Kite Man's beautiful relationship. Why? Why would somebody do that? When it comes to these different iterations, I think it's easy to see that I do prefer the Harley Quinn series version rather than the live action, but that doesn't mean the live action is bad. It's one of the reasons Harley Quinn became so popular outside of the Joker, so you gotta respect the live action adaptation. Harley Quinn has a lot of facets to her, and I feel like the live action can sometimes be stuck on, lol, she's funny and crazy and says stuff out of nowhere. Sometimes rather than developing her character more or see how leaving the Joker has changed her further. Luckily, the series has a lot more stuff going for it outside of the homewrecking stuff. Of course, God, I hated that stuff so much. Season 3 is good. Alright, yeah, Season 3 is good. But I still hate the homewrecking stuff that Season 2 ended with. But that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this. What are your opinions on this video? I know this was a little bit of a random video. I do WoW loves all the time, and they're always different, you know? Sometimes I'm comparing, sometimes I'm giving like miniature character analysis for each of them. Sometimes I'm going over each season. In this one, I kind of wanted to do it a little bit different since I just saw like all of the Suicide Squad movies, and like that video already came out. This was supposed to come out immediately afterwards, and this was finished August 16th. But you know, it's September now. I really do suck at editing and recording sometimes. But this is coming out now. Thank you for watching. What are your opinions on the Harley Quinn series? I know I already said that. You don't have to tell me. Okay. Alright. Goodbye. So fight